So hi everybody. So today for the new interview of the Fly for the Earth project, we are in Copenhagen in Denmark, and we are with Hans Christian Sørensen, who bring renewable energy to business, and we speak about like cooperative and in wind energy. So hi Hans.
Hi.
So can you first present us what is cooperative in wind energy?
Well, a cooperative in Denmark is a very well-known organization form where one person has one vote, independing of you have many shares or you have few shares.
Okay.
We know that from the agriculture field, and we have been using that in wind energy. That means also that it has a big advantage that you can participate with no money almost, and you can participate with a lot of shares, but you still have only one vote.
Oh yeah, okay, understand. And how does it work in practice? Is it to increase the local acceptance, for example, for wind farms or things like this?
Yeah, that's a very important thing because we start up in wind in the 80s using that model in a small village around Denmark where we start up wind farms. And where a group of people start planning and inviting all the neighbors to be participating, and usually people are participating first of all because they believe it was a good idea to get rid of oil and gas. Second, of course, that has to be some profit in it. I mean, we never establish projects with more than 10 years payback time.
Okay. Okay, understand. And do you have some example of near Copenhagen of wind farms owned by cooperative?
Yeah, well, in the Copenhagen region, we had used a special model because we have all the time been working with the local municipality or energy companies like donné in establishing the wind farm. And then we split the wind farms into parts and are running it in the cooperative part or running it as a utility part with the donné. And the most known project is probably the Middelgrunden wind farm outside Copenhagen in 2000 established. At that time, the largest offshore wind farm in the world, 40 megawatt. Well, today, a modern offshore wind farm is 15 times larger.
Oh yeah, that's big.
But it was for a long time a very important trademark and mark in the offshore development because that's where we start learning.
Yeah, understand. And did it take a long time to build this project with the community?
Well, compared with many other projects, the total time we started in October 1996, and we have all the turbines in place in 2000, by the December 2000. We lost 1 year because of this project, of this model we are using in involving local people very much. We involve local people, and our first proposal will, with 27 turbines on the reef outside Copenhagen, was turned down. We have hundreds of protesters, in fact thousands of protesters. Okay. It looks pretty maybe from the air to have 3 rows of turbine, but from the beach it looks terrible. Oh, yeah. You can see it in the computer model. We all agree we had to do something, and that's how we get into the curved line. Everybody knows today. We ask an industrial designer to come up with the idea, and in her mind was continuing the defense wall around Copenhagen. So we just have the defense in the sea also. She continued that planning circle, and we took that idea.
Understand. And why cooperative are so common in Denmark? Is it because of history or? Well,
that's historical. After Denmark lost one of the fights with wars with German, or the beginning of Germany, Prussia, Austria, we lost 40% of our land, agricultural land, and we had to start up using this not very good land. In fact, it was what was remaining was a bad land, and you had to drain it, you had to do cultivating more areas and things like that. And you have then small farmers, you have large farmers, and they could agree on going together against the big companies in Copenhagen. They want to do their own selling, they want to do their own buying of fertilizer and things like that. Why have a middleman from the city involved? And so that was forming the cooperative idea in Denmark. And And we took up that model for in wind also because what the big advantage is that you start doing things from the very basic bottom-up approach. You start with local people planning, and they already very early start saying, well, we don't like that, but we may like that. And then you have the discussion going on between people. And you could involve large group of people, you could involve rich people, you could involve the students, but they all could agree on doing that together and accept the model because we know the model, we have been used to the model for hundreds of years now.
And it's not someone but bring you something and you must do this.
And people just start, it's a voluntary work. I mean, you call in for a meeting typically in the beginning. We also did in Copenhagen. And say, well, who want to participate? In Copenhagen, I remember we were about 50 or 60 people, and half of them disappeared when we told them there's no salary here. It's just free work. But then we had the remaining group. It was law students, it was retired people, it was all kinds of people with different backgrounds. So we could form the working group. And because the model is so well known in Denmark, when we then agreed with the utility, they have a lot of professional engineers. They accepted the model, so we formed working groups where we have people from our group working with grid connection, even though they may not have a lot of knowledge on that. But that was giving the kind of democratic decision process, and it was easing the process. And the advantage of the let's say cooperative group, which you can call an NGO group from the local area, is that they can go back to the local area until that's our project. It's not somebody coming posing it.
Understand. Okay, thank you very much, Hans, for this very interesting subject, and see you soon for the new interview of the Fly for the Project. Bye.